Good day, Sir Alde. For today's video, I am going to talk about the performance standards for electronic chart display and information system or ECDIS for route monitoring and voyage recording. Route monitoring 11.4.1. For route monitoring, the selected route and own ship's position should appear whenever the display covers that area. For 11.4.2, it should be possible to display a sea area does not have the ship on the display while route monitoring. If this is done on the display used for route monitoring, the automatic route monitoring functions, updating ship's position and providing alerts and indications should be continuous. It should be possible to return to the route monitoring display covering own ship's position immediately by single operator action. For 11.4.3, it should be possible to select that ECDIS gives an alarm and related graphical indication if within a specific time or distance set by the mariner, own ship will pass closer than a user selected distance from the safety contour. This should be a permanent indication when the safety contour alarm is deselected. For 11.4.4, if this should give a warning or caution or indication as selected by the mariner and related graphical indication if within a specific time or distance set by the mariner, own ship will pass closer than a user selected distance from the boundary of a user selectable category of prohibited area or of a geographical area for which special condition exists. The user selectable categories should be the same as user selections for the display of objects and be based on IHO standards. There should be a permanent indication when any user selectable categories are selected. This is all the selection should be available. We can check the warning or creation by selecting the check route. For 11.4.5, an alarm should be given when the specified cross-track limit for deviation from the selected route is defined by mariner when route planning. For 11.4.6, this should give a warning or creation or indication as selected by the mariner as selected if continuing its present course and speed over a specified time or distance set by the mariner, own ship will pass closer than a user's specified distance from a user selectable category of danger that is shallower than the mariner's safety contour or as user selectable category of aid to navigation. The user selectable categories should be the same as user selections for the display of objects and be based on IHO standards. There should be a permanent indication when any of the user selectable categories are deselected. Details of the deselection should be available on demand. A graphical indication should be given if the current or the next leg of the selected route passes closer than a user specified distance from the safety contour. For 11.4.8, a graphical indication should be given if the current or the next leg of the selected route goes closer than a user specified distance from the boundary of a user selectable category of prohibited area or a geographic area for which special conditions exist. A graphical indication should be given if the selectable route goes closer than a user specified distance from a user selectable category of point objects such as a fixed or floating aid to navigation or isolated danger. The user selectable categories should be the same as user selections for the display of objects and be based on IHO standards. For 11.9, it should be possible for the mariner to select that the indication of 11.4.3, 11.4.4, 11.4.6, 11.4.7, and 11.4.8 into account accuracy information of relevant hydrographic information as defined by IHO standards. For 11.4.10, The ship's position should be derived from a continuous positioning system of an accuracy consistent with the requirements of safe navigation. Whenever possible, a second independent positioning source, preferably of a different types, should be provided. In such cases, ICDES should be capable of identifying discrepancies between the two sources. For 11.4.11, ICDES should provide a warning when the input from position, heading, or speed sources is lost. ICDES should also repeat, but only as an indication, any alerts or indication passed to it from position, heading, or speed sources. For 11.4.12, a warning should be given by ICDES when the ship reaches a specified time or distance set by the mariner or in advance of a critical point on the planned route. For 11.4.13, the positioning system and the system database should be on the same geotech datum. ICDES should give a warning if this is not the case, and it should be possible to display alternative routes in addition to the selected route. The selected route should be clearly distinguishable from the other route during the voyage. It should be possible for the mariner to modify the selected route or change to alternative plan. For 11.4.15, it should be possible to display time labels along ship's track manually on demand and automatically at intervals selected between 1 and 120 minutes, and an adequate number of points, removable electronic bearing lines, variable and fixed range markers, and other symbols required for navigation purposes and specified in Appendix 3. For 11.4.16, it should be possible to enter the geographical coordinates of any position, then display that position on demand. Also, it should be possible to select any point on the display and read its geographical coordinates on demand. 11.4.17, it should be possible to adjust and display geographic position of the ships manually. This manual adjustment should be indicated alphanumerically on the screen, maintained until altered by the mariner and automatically recorded. 11.4.18, this should provide the capability to enter and plot manually obtain bearing and distance light of position, or the LOP, and calculate the resulting position of all ships. It should be possible to use the resulting position as an origin for the reckoning. This should indicate discrepancies between the positions obtained by continuous positioning system and positions obtained by manual observations. For voyage recording, 11.5.1, this should store and be able to reproduce certain minimum elements required to reconstruct the navigation and verify the official database used during the previous 12 hours. The following data should be recorded at 1-minute intervals to ensure a record of all ships' past track, time, position, heading, and speed. To ensure a record of official data used, ENC source, edition, date, sell, and update history, and any changes in safety contour, look ahead, and route monitoring alert settings. It should output information listed in the 11.1.2 and 11.5.1.3 to a voyage data recorder. In addition, this should record the complete track for the entire voyage with time marks at intervals not exceeding 4 hours. It should not be possible to manipulate or change the recorded information. This should have a capability to preserve the record of the previous 12 hours and voyage track. And that will be all, sir. Thank you.